Alright, Eagles fans, we have some major news and rumors to dive into today. First, there's growing buzz about a potential contract extension for Jaylen Carter. And if the numbers being discussed turn out to be true, it could be one of the biggest deals ever for a defensive player in franchise history. We're talking about a game-changing payday for one of the most dominant young players in the NFL. And after that, we'll shift our focus to the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft, because the Eagles' pre-draft visits are painting a very clear picture of what Howie Roseman might be planning. The Eagles have a long history of using these meetings to identify their first-round targets, and if the past is any indicator, we might already have some strong clues about the team's direction. Make sure you're locked in, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's get into it. First up, Jaylen Carter. There's no denying that he's already established himself as a cornerstone of this Eagles defense. From the moment he stepped onto the field as a rookie, he's been a disruptive force along the defensive line, wrecking offensive game plans and proving why Philadelphia was smart to take him with the 9th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Now heading into his third season, the conversation is shifting toward his future, and more specifically, how much the Eagles will have to pay to keep him in midnight green for years to come. Carter is under contract through 2026 with a team option available for 2027 since he was a first-round pick. But here's where things get interesting. Howie Roseman has a well-documented track record of getting ahead of the market by locking in his best players early. This strategy has allowed the Eagles to secure elite talent at below market rates before the cap spikes and contracts inflate even further. The best general managers operate with a long-term vision, and it's clear that Roseman is already planning ahead for Carter's eventual extension. If Carter continues on his current trajectory, there's a real chance he could become the highest paid non-quarterback in franchise history. His dominance isn't just hype. He's already among the best defensive tackles in the league, and the numbers back it up. In his second NFL season, he ranked among the top defensive linemen in nearly every major category, first in total snaps. Played third in pressure, rate fourth in pass rush win, rate tied for third in sacks, second in quarterback hits, second in hurries, first in batted passes, first in forced fumbles, and third in run stop win rate. These aren't just good numbers, they're elite. When you look around the league at recent contracts for top-tier defensive tackles, it becomes clear just how expensive keeping Carter is going to be. Chris Jones, at 30 years old, secured a 5-year, $158 million contract with an average annual value of $31. $75 million now. Christian Wilkins signed with the Raiders for 5 years and $110 million, averaging $27.5 million per season at age 29. Then you have younger guys like Ali McNeil and Justin Matterboy, who signed deals worth just under $100 million at ages 24 and 27 respectively. And here's the thing, Carter is younger than all of them already, better than most of them, and still improving. By the time he's up for his new deal, the defensive tackle market could be even more inflated, and Carter could be looking at a deal worth more than $40 million per season. It's also worth noting how Carter's extension could impact the Eagles' overall roster building strategy. This offseason, Roseman has let multiple veterans walk in free agency, a move that seemed puzzling at first, but makes more sense when you factor in the need to allocate resources for Carter's future deal. The Eagles also have other young core players like Reed Blankenship and Cam Jurgens who will be looking for contract extensions soon. Managing the cap is always a delicate balance, but it's clear that prioritizing Carter is a no-brainer. The reality is game-wrecking defensive tackles are becoming some of the most valuable players in football. Look at what happened in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. When you can create pressure from the interior and collapse the pocket, it completely disrupts even the best quarterbacks in the game. That's what makes Carter so special. His combination of strength, explosiveness, and technique makes him nearly impossible to block one-on-one. And as the league shifts towards valuing dominant interior pass rushers even more, Carter's stock is only going to rise. The Eagles have historically built their success around dominating the trenches, and keeping Carter locked in for the long haul is essential to maintaining that identity. It's not just about what he brings on the field. It's about setting the tone for the defense and ensuring that Philadelphia remains one of the most feared defensive units in the NFL. So the big question is, will Carter's next deal exceed $40 million per year? The market suggests it's a very real possibility. His performance on the field supports it, and Howie Roseman's aggressive approach to securing elite talent early makes it likely that conversations about an extension will start heating up sooner rather than later. If the Eagles wait too long, the price is only going to go up, and Roseman knows better than anyone how to stay ahead of the curve. With all that being said, what do you think will Jaylen Carter become the highest paid non-quarterback in Eagles history? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's hear where you stand. And don't go anywhere, because next up we're breaking down the Eagles pre-draft visits and what they reveal about the team's strategy heading into the 2025 NFL Draft. Stay tuned. Now that we've covered the massive contract situation surrounding Jaylen Carter, let's shift our focus to the 2025 NFL Draft. The Eagles have been making moves behind the scenes, and if history tells us anything, their pre-draft visits can give us a clear look at what Howie Roseman and his staff are thinking. Philadelphia has a well-documented history of targeting players. They've hosted on pre-draft visits, and this year the trend is continuing in a big way, especially when it comes to offensive linemen. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who has followed this team over the years. Roseman has repeatedly emphasized his belief in building from the trenches, and the Eagles have made it clear that they're looking at offensive tackle prospects in this draft class. The 2025 NFL Draft will take place in Green Bay at the end of April, and the Eagles have already lined up multiple visits with top offensive line prospects. This follows a pattern that has held up for years. Since Roseman regained control of the Shield front office after the disastrous Chip Kelly experiment, the Eagles' pre-draft visits have served as a strong indicator of their first-round plans. If you look back at past drafts, it becomes obvious. Carson Wentz in 2016 pre-draft visit, Derek Barnett in 2017 pre-draft visit, Jordan Davis in 2022 pre-draft visit, Jaylen Carter and Nolan Smith in 2023, both pre-draft visits. That's 7 out of the last 9 first-round picks who visited the Eagles before draft day, meaning there's a 77% chance that at least one of the players they've hosted this year will end up wearing midnight green. With that in mind, let's talk about the names that have been connected to Philadelphia in the lead-up to this year's draft. 4 offensive linemen have already visited or are scheduled to visit Josh Connery Jr. from Oregon, Marcus Baugh from Purdue, Anthony Belton from NC State, and Jalen Travis from Iowa State. All 4 are offensive tackles, which is notable because the Eagles have always prioritized investing in the offensive line. This strategy has paid off tremendously in the past, with franchise cornerstones like Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata anchoring the unit. But Johnson isn't getting any younger, and while Mailata remains a dominant force, depth and long-term planning are crucial for the future. Starting with Josh Connerly Jr., the Oregon tackle is one of the most athletic linemen in this class. I had the chance to talk to him at the NFL Combine, and his combination of size and mobility stands out. Measuring in at 6'4" and 311 pounds, he posted an elite relative athletic score, RAS, of 8.77. His vertical jump of 34.2 inches is ridiculous for a player of his size, and he ran just over 5. 0 seconds in the 40-yard dash. That kind of explosiveness is exactly what the Eagles look for in their offensive linemen, particularly under offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland. Stoutland has a history of developing raw but talented prospects into dominant linemen, and Connerly has the tools to be the next in line. Looking at his production at Oregon, Connerly had an overall Pro Football Focus grade of 78.1 in 2024, with an 83.5 pass blocking grade and a 72.5 run blocking grade. He allowed just 1 sack all season, committed 4 penalties, and gave up only 6 quarterback hurries. What really stood out, though, was how he performed against top-tier competition. One of his best games came in the Pac-12 championship against Penn State's Abdul Carter, a pass rusher who many believe will be a first-round pick himself. Connerly held his own, proving he can handle high-level edge rushers. Then there's Marcus Baugh from Purdue, another tackle prospect with positional versatility. He has experience playing both guard and tackle, which makes him an interesting option for a team like Philadelphia that values linemen who can move around. Over the past few years, Baugh has played a variety of spots on the offensive line. In 2021, he logged snaps at both right and left guard. In 2022, he played 647 snaps at right guard and 63 at right tackle. In 2023 and 2024, he was almost exclusively a right tackle, logging 446 and 658 snaps at the position, respectively. However, his numbers aren't as strong as Connolly's. His 2024 PFF grade was 73.0 overall, with a 68.0 pass blocking grade and a 77.2 run blocking grade. He allowed 3 sacks and committed a concerning number of pressures, 21 in total. While he has the versatility and experience, his slower reaction time and occasional struggles with footwork could make him more of a developmental prospect than an immediate contributor. If the Eagles are looking for a long-term project that they can mold under Stoutland, he could be a mid-round option. Anthony Belton from NC State is another intriguing name on the list. He's an absolute monster in terms of size, measuring in at 6'6" and over 330 pounds. Despite his massive frame, he moves well, posting an 87.2 pass blocking grade in 2024. His run blocking, however, was less polished, grading out at 69.4. He allowed 3 sacks but showed impressive explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. That's a key trait the Eagles look for, particularly in tackles who need to kick out quickly to handle speed rushers. Belton confirmed during our conversation at the Combine that he has a pre-draft visit scheduled with the Eagles, which shows there's legitimate interest from the front office. When I asked him about his thoughts on joining a team that prioritizes the offensive line as much as Philadelphia does, he lit up. He mentioned that he studied Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata extensively, trying to model parts of his game after them. That's exactly the kind of mentality the Eagles want in their offensive linemen. Guys who understand the importance of technique and development. Finally, there's Jalen Travis from Iowa State, another versatile lineman with experience at both tackle positions. Over his college career, he logged over 1,400 snaps at left tackle and 500 at right tackle. Athletically, he tested extremely well, posting a 991 RAS score. That puts him in elite company in terms of athleticism for offensive linemen. At 6'7" and 330 pounds, he ran a 5.14 second 40-yard dash, showing the kind of movement skills that NFL teams covet. His 35-inch vertical jump and 9-foot broad jump highlight his lower body explosiveness, which translates well to leverage and power in pass protection. The Eagles' interest in these linemen reinforces what Howie Roseman has been preaching for years. Building through the trenches isn't just a strategy, it's a philosophy. At the NFL Combine, Roseman described his obsession with finding offensive and defensive linemen as healthy, and that statement has been backed up by action. Philadelphia has consistently prioritized drafting and developing linemen, and based on their pre-draft visits, that trend will continue in 2025. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean they will take a lineman in the first round. But given the franchise's history combined with the way this draft class is shaping up, it wouldn't be surprising to see one of these names called when the Eagles are on the clock. Depth along the offensive line is never a bad thing, and preparing for the eventual departure of Lane Johnson is a smart move. If one of these prospects lands in Philadelphia, expect Stoutland to work his magic once again. So now I want to hear from you. Which position do you want the Eagles to target in the first round? Do you think offensive tackle is the way to go, or would you prefer they focus on another area of need? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get the conversation going. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The Philadelphia Eagles are reportedly showing a keen interest in acquiring Kendrick Bourne, a wide receiver with an intriguing mix of skill and potential. After a standout performance in Week 1 of the 2023 season, where Bourne racked up 6 catches for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Eagles, it seems the team has been closely monitoring his development. Despite a setback in Week 8 when Bourne suffered a torn ACL, his performance during the early part of the season hasn't gone unnoticed by the Eagles front office. Bourne's journey from Eastern Washington to the NFL has been anything but typical. After a solid stint with the San Francisco 49ers, he moved to the New England Patriots, where he began to establish himself as a reliable target in their offense. His ability to make plays under pressure has made him a potential game changer for any team, and the Eagles are eager to bring him into the fold. While his recovery from the ACL injury has kept him on the sidelines for much of the 2023 season, Bourne's recent activation from the reserve card PUP list has fueled rumors of a potential trade. The Eagles are particularly interested in his versatility and ability to stretch the field. His skill set aligns with the kind of playmaking ability the Eagles have been looking for to further bolster their wide receiver core. The timing of this possible move is intriguing, as Bourne recently signed a 3-year contract extension with the Patriots in March 2024. This extension may raise the stakes in any potential trade talks, but it also signals the Patriots' willingness to invest in Bourne's future with the team, regardless of potential interest from the Eagles. Kendrick Bourne's skill set is one that has consistently turned heads throughout his NFL career. Known for his sharp route running and reliable hands, he has been able to consistently make plays in crucial moments. What sets Bourne apart is his ability to work both inside and outside, offering a dynamic threat in multiple positions. Whether it's catching short slants or stretching the field on deep routes, he has the versatility to adapt to any offensive scheme, a quality that makes him especially appealing to a team like the Eagles. One of Bourne's most impressive traits is his ability to create separation from defenders. His smooth, quick footwork allows him to easily break free from tight coverage, giving his quarterbacks a reliable target. His experience in both the 49ers and Patriots systems has shaped him into a savvy player, capable of reading defenses and adjusting his route based on the situation. This football IQ, combined with his athleticism, gives him the potential to be an even more dangerous weapon if surrounded by the right supporting cast. Bourne's mental toughness and resilience have also become defining characteristics of his game. Despite the setback of his ACL injury, he has shown a strong work ethic in his recovery, further proving his commitment to being a key contributor. When he's at full strength, Bourne has the ability to change the course of a game with a single catch. The Eagles, who have been in search of a consistent playmaker to complement their already high-powered offense, could find that missing piece in Bourne. With the 2024 season just around the corner, the Eagles have an opportunity to acquire a wide receiver who is ready to prove himself. If the trade goes through, the excitement surrounding Bourne's potential in Philadelphia could be palpable. His blend of athleticism, intelligence, and drive makes him a tantalizing prospect for a team looking to make a deep playoff run. The anticipation surrounding his future in an Eagles uniform is only set to grow as more details emerge. As the NFL trade season heats up, all eyes will be on the Eagles to see if they pull the trigger on a deal for Bourne. With his proven ability to make an impact when healthy, Kendrick Bourne could be the missing piece to push the Eagles' offense to new heights. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.